perceptions. In the last class, we discussed how to use non-action verbs appropriately with the simple present, and how to use non-action verbs, or how not to use non-action verbs with the present progressive. We've already spoke about several examples. We also talked about some verbs that can be used as non-action and action. These verbs right here can be used. These verbs that we see right here, taste, smell, feel, look, those can have both a non-action and an action meaning. We talked about that, and we talked about the examples, right? Um, and we used some of the vocabulary, but uh, ultimately, what we wanted to do was practice. Okay, so this is where we left off. We wanted to discover the grammar in this context, and we can discover the grammar in this context analyzing this blog. Everybody knows what a blog is, right? A blog.
Yes.
Yeah,
A blog.
Yes.
Everybody uses blogs, but maybe they don't call them blogs all the time. Sometimes we call them, like Facebook. Technically, Facebook is a blog. I mean, you create a topic, and then everybody discusses the topic. A blog is the discussion under the topic. So if you, let's say you put a picture, and then everybody puts the comments. The comments is the blog. Everybody's posting comments, and they give their opinion, or they add more information, or they correct the information, and technically that's what that is, right? But the first few, um, before the Facebook was in style, I don't know if you two used like MSN communities, or if you ever used um, Hotmail communities.
LinkedIn,
Any,
teacher.
what's that?
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn is also a community where you can blog. Okay, so you use LinkedIn a lot, but
Yes.
I don't
did
know
any
if
of
I don't know if you are talking about like last older like communities for example ICQ or something like that. No, teacher, high five and other ones.
yeah, well, there's I don't know if you remember. I think at one time, I showed you, if you put set the English, I think it was an AV. I think
Mm-hmm.
at one time I used to have a community page, an old page.
Mm.
Let's and it was on. I think it was from 2014 or something like that. I think I don't think I put Acosta Verde. Let me see. It was set the English, and then I went into an old page. Let's see. When you type set the English, there's a lot of information, because I always put a lot of information online since many years ago. So let me see. I'm trying to find a community page that I built back in a long time ago. Let's see. Where is it? Where is it? I found it a while back. Let's see. Let's see. Here it is. I saved it. No, it's not here. I thought I saved it, but maybe I didn't. Let's see. No. Well, maybe I don't have the example. A community page is when you go to a website and you create information about something on the website. Okay, and you can put blogs underneath it. You can put a lot of information, and it was under Google, if I remember correctly. Escuela de Idiomas. Now this is 2008. It was a long time ago. It was like from 2014, and it was still, to my surprise, it was still online. I was very, very surprised. Well, to see that it was still available. Eventually, I'll find it. I think it was like CETI. Let's see, Google Communities. It's one of my oldest pages that is proof that in my opinion, I liked it because it proves that I've been doing business online since like 2008. But it's not here. I can't find it anymore. But anyways, the point is you can get in, and in the past you would have, they would call it a blog. Now it's called Facebook. Now it's called LinkedIn. Now it's called Twitter. They don't call it a blog anymore. They call it something else, and it's basically the same thing. It's still a blog. You have a topic, you have a picture, you got something, and then somebody begins the conversation, and everybody else puts information underneath it. You can usually see that in YouTube, for example. You see the video, and then there's a lot of comments underneath the video. All the comments that go underneath the video are called a blog, B-L-O-G. Okay, so here we see a blog posting by Brian, somebody named Brian. He's a Canadian summer exchange student, right? He is studying in Argentina. And what we want to do is we want to identify what is happening right now, okay? And identify what regularly happens, okay? So that we can see if we understand the context, okay? According to what he put on here, what can you tell me, Danny, is happening? Well, tell you what, Danny, can you please read the first section, June 28th?
Yes, teacher, of course. It's June 28th. I am sitting in a seat 30,000 feet above the earth en route to Argentina. I usually have dinner at this time, but right now I have an awful headache from all the excitement. My seatmate is eating my food. I guess isn't good. She looks happy.
Excellent, thank you. So here he's describing what is happening. And again, can you tell me, Danny, what is happening now and what happens usually? What is happening?
He, for example, he says that he usually at this moment, he's not usually that at this moment he was flying. The usual is that he have a dinner at this moment.
Mm-hmm.
But
so usually,
this is the usually have a dinner at this moment. But instead he is been taking dinner, he is sitting on an airplane, and his seatmate is eating his food because he can't eat.
Okay, so we're gonna circle is eating because that is happening right now. Okay, now what here? I'm describing what is happening right now. Now check this out. It says right here, circle all the verbs that describe what is happening right now. Okay, technically right now he has a headache. It says, but right now I have a headache. Okay, my seatmate is eating my food. Technically both of them are happening right now, but one of them is not in the progressive. One of them is in the present, simple present, and the other one is in the progressive. Do you know why?
Because, correct me, teacher, if I am saying something wrong, but for example, when you have a headache, you don't know if you are going to have this headache for 10 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, or it's uncertain the time that you have a headache. However, at the moment that you are eating, perhaps you don't been eating for more than 15 minutes.
Correct. That's somewhere along the right lines. The best way to explain it, the best way to explain it is that when you are eating something, it is action, and action verbs are conjugated in the simple present. So, in this case, his seatmate is eating his food, and he has an awful headache. Awful is terrible. A headache is dolor de cabeza. And so he says, I have an awful headache. Technically, have is a non-action verb that describes possession. It's one of these right here. Um, Here you have I like, I love, I know. Here you go. He has, okay. Anything that describes possession, and have is one of the ones on the list, then you're going to use, it is considered a non-action verb, and we cannot put that verb in the progressive, even if it's happening right now. Even if it's happening right now. So it is happening right now, but it's possession. He has an awful headache. The reason why we know it's right now, because he included a time marker. And he's telling us, right now, I have an awful headache from all the excitement. My seatmate is eating my food. And again, that's progressive, though that means that's happening right now also, because he put it in the progressive. Okay. And then he says, I guess it is good. She looks happy. So this is simple present. It is the present of the verb is, and she looks happy. That's another non-action verb, because no action. I mean, she is not looking happy. She looks happy. That's not an action verb. So if I say, Danny, you look good. You look happy. No action. That I'm just describing you. I'm just describing how you look, but you didn't do anything. Okay. So again, the main reason is that right now you would normally put it in the progressive, but if it's a non-action verb, we're going to put it in the simple present. That's the
Yes,
main reason.
yes, teacher. And at the moment that you says she looks, that you add the s, you are mentioned that it's happening now, no?
Correct. Correct. She looks, well, she looks as se ve. It translates to se ve alegre, se ve alegre. And it's, yeah, and you use looks, you use the s, because technically you say I, you, he, she, it. With that, I'm sorry, I, you, we, they. Sorry, I'm confusing you here. I, you, we, they look, okay, but with he, she, or it, it's going to be
Looks.
looks, plural.
And I understand why she looks happy. In the airplane all the time, you, how do you say, you don't eat enough because the food in the airplane is always very small portions.
Yeah, actually, yes. In the airplane, it seems like that. I mean, you don't want to spend 500, 600 pesos buying a lot of food, because they give you small portions and they give you insignificant food. I mean, they give you maruchans and usually a Coke, for 50 pesos, and so you don't want to, throw away money on a Coke. So you buy the bare minimum, and you always stay more hungry, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I know how that is. We usually try to eat, if we go somewhere, if we're gonna get on a plane. I tell my wife and kids, let's eat at the airport at Subway or something, or let's eat a burger something somewhere, and that way, if we spend 500 pesos, we eat a big meal, a good meal.
Yes, I usually in how do you say, depend of the moment, in domestic flights, I do the same, teacher. It's common that I do the same. I carry with me a hamburger or how do you say, a Subway, and only you take how do you say, a coffee in the airplane, or you take a Coca-Cola, and with this is enough for a stay good, no?
Yeah. It gets you through the flight. Of course, if you're taking a 12-hour flight, it may not be enough, but at least it'll get you through the first 6 hours, and then maybe you can buy a snack. Maybe. Mr. Ezekiel, you want to read what happens? Can you read the blog, please, for June 30?
Yeah. Okay. June 30, it's 7:30 p.m. My host parents are still working. Carlos, my father, works at home. My little brother, Ricardo, is cute. He looks and acts a lot like Bobby. Right now, he is looking over my shoulder and trying to read my journal.
So what is happening right now, and what regularly happens? What is happening right now? What is in the progressive or happening right now, or what happens all the time? Technically, what is happening right now is what we put in the progressive, and what happens all the time is what we put in the simple present.
Sorry. A ver. My hot R is in present. Works is present. I don't know. Ricardo is cute. Is a simple present. Looks, simple present. He is looking, simple present. And trying is present progressive. And looking too. Looking and ¿cómo que no, teacher?
And working.
but did you say simple present or present progressive?
Present progressive. Looking and trying is present progressive.
And working.
And
okay.
working. Yeah, teacher, and working too. Yeah.
Okay, so okay, so we got still they are working, so we're going to say are working.
Y el otro to read is no, but the read is a verb. It's infinitive.
He looks and acts. Maybe that's two actions.
Yeah.
Works is in the present, simple present. My little brother Ricardo is in the simple present. Looks and acts, simple present. Is looking, present progressive. And trying, present progressive. So here we're identifying the areas of the things that are happening right now. Right now, it is 7:30. That's in the simple present. That's right now. And what is happening? My host parents are still working. So while he is on the plane, his host parents are working right now, right? And then he specifies. Usually, Carlos, my father, works at home. So that's every day. That's not right now. That's usual. I added the word usually because that's every day. Okay, he works at home. And then my little brother Ricardo is cute. That's always that's a regular occurrence. The verb be in the present. He looks and he acts a lot like Bobby. So again, that's every day. Every day he looks and acts like Bobby. Right now, and this helps us because it says right now. So right now he is looking over my shoulder and trying to read my journal. So that is happening right now. And see, that's what we're identifying here. The differences in the conjugation of the verb in the simple present and the present progressive, because they are being mixed in one complex conversation. So it's a little tricky, but we need to visualize we need to visualize what is happening right now and what regularly happens every day. Any questions?
No, teacher.
Piece of cake for Mr. Ezekiel. All right. Danny, what can you tell me about this one? Can you read it, please?
Yes, teacher. It's July 4th. The weather is cold here in the summer. I usually spend the first weekend of July at the beach. Today I am walking around in my heavy sweater. In a heavy sweater.
Excellent. But can you tell me this word again, Mr. Danny?
Sí, porque dijiste perra.
No. Beach. Beach.
Yes, I just wanted to make sure I didn't misunderstand you. He says, I usually spend the first weekend of July at the beach. Beach. It's a
Yes.
sonriendo, beach. Si sonríes así como que abres los dos lados de la boca, suave, beach. Sonreír, Mr. Ezekiel. Entonces, pero si la boca se queda ondulada, y usas un poquito la garganta y lo dices, bitch. Hasta el tono suena insultante.
Okay.
Bitch. ¿Verdad? Entonces, that's the only difference. But yes. Now, could you tell us, Mr. Martinez? Well, los dos son Martínez, no me acabo de dar cuenta. Entonces, could you tell me, hasta que dije Mr. Martínez, iba a decir Danny y lo dije Martínez, pero wow, that's the both of you. ¿Eso es coincidencia o son primos o qué?
Maybe in the little ancestor in Spain. No.
Un abuelito que anduvo por todos lados.
Maybe one of the Spaniard conquer.
Yes.
Would be our ancestor.
Yes,
Mr.
because Martínez means hijo de Martín.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
It's similar than Johnson. Johnson is son of
Hijo
John.
de John.
Like Mac in the McDonald, McAfee.
Macintosh.
That is called patronymic.
Patronymic. But in Mexico, it's not good that your surname is Sanchez. Because Sanchez is son of Sancho. And Sancho means other thing.
is the step husband.
Yes.
So what is Reyes?
Reyes.
Hijo de rey. Son of rey.
Hijo del rey. Very good. Well, can you tell me on July 4th, Mr. Danny, what is happening right now and what regularly happens?
Okay, for example, the regularly happens is when he says that he usually spent the first week of July at the beach, but the thing that is currently happen instead that being in the beach is that he is walking around in a heavy sweater because in Argentina it's not really a summer, it's perhaps winter because in the north, for example, currently here in the north we are in summer and perhaps currently they are in winter. It's opposite the seasons between north and south.
Very good. So in the present, the weather is cold. Is just a regular present. So right now, it is cold, right? In the summer, but it's still cold.
Yes, because he's thinking that this summer in the north, in the south is winter.
In the south is winter.
Yeah, Ezequiel knows very well because Ezequiel used to live in Argentina.
In Argentina, they have different
seasons.
Seasons, really? I didn't know that. So
It's the opposite. If in Mexico is in the what is in the summer, in Argentina is in the fall.
Interesting. So does it get really cold, Mr. Ezekiel?
Oh yeah, cold and humid because there is near than the Rio de la Plata. That is a huge river.
Okay, yeah. When it's cold and humid, it feels colder. The humid weather is very. It makes it feel colder, especially if it's humid and windy. If it's humid and windy, it
Like
feels.
like in Chicago.
Chicago's Chicago's called the Windy City, the windy, and sometimes you have the temperature at 0 degrees, but the wind they call it the wind chill factor. Let me show you.
Wind chill factor, yes.
Chill factor. The wind chill factor is usually about 20 degrees uh, less than the actual temperature. So if it's 0, when the wind hits your skin, it feels like -20. It feels like -20. And they say that the wind chill factor is the deadly part of the cold winter weather. The wind chill factor. If I think in Nuevo León we are protected by the mountains. There's a lot of mountains, and I think they block the windshield. They block the wind. I mean, they bring some wind. We have some wind sometimes, but I think they block a lot of the storm. What about in Lázaro Cárdenas, Mr. Danny? Do you have a problem with the windshield factor?
No, teacher, because here is Cos is a tropical area that, for example, here the difference between the lower and the higher temperature during the day is always 10 Celsius degrees. I am going to put you an example. For example, now that we are in summer, perhaps the hottest day during the day is 38, 37 Celsius degrees, but the lower temperature during the morning or during the night could be 27. In winter, during the night could be 20, 22 Celsius degrees, and during the day is 30, 32. This is perhaps the fluctuation among the higher and the lower temperature. And here is no problem with the winter. The problem with the wind, not with the winter, with the wind is when it's hurricane in the Pacific Ocean because it's dangerous.
True. I think all of the all the coastal areas usually fear the hurricane season, right?
The hurricane season, because the problem is not really the rain. The problem is the windy, because wind is when the wind is at 75 kilometers per hour or 100 kilometers per hour. Come on, it is a big problem because uh, a lot of things could happen. There are so many dangers if you are, how do you say, um, you are outdoor.
Right. Yeah, it blows over. It probably destroys a lot of power lines and trees and signs or big warehouses, probably.
Yes, teacher, how do you say láminas?
Sheet metal, or it's
Yes,
sheet.
yes. For example, sheet metals could be flying in the middle of the space. Imagine if a sheet metal hit you, could kill you.
It'll cut you in half.
Yes.
Yes, sheet metal is dangerous whenever you have a lot of wind. Actually, they tell you sheet metal and glass.
Yes, glass and other kind of things usually fly in the middle of a storm. For example, baskets, sheet metals, tinacos, and other kind of these things, or piece of trees. Oh, well, there are so many projectiles in the wind.
Have you seen the movie Twister?
Yes, teacher, I seen the movie Twister with the actor produce. Okay, this is the movie. Yes.
Yeah, it's this guy right here. That's a pretty good movie. You can see it on on what do you call it, on Netflix. They're showing it. It's an old movie, but it's a pretty good movie. I think. I think it's a pretty good movie. The Who's the actor? I think I know the girl, Helen Hunt.
Helen
Helen,
Hunt.
Helen Hunt. She's a good actress. I like her. And and
Mhm.
and and Bill Paxton's pretty good. He's pretty good. Well, isn't he the actor in Jurassic Park or no?
I doesn't remember Bill Paxton's
Yeah.
in
In this movie, they show a lot of flying objects.
yes.
Also, it's a pretty good movie. The wind causes a lot of damage. It's a pretty good movie. Okay, so August 6th, Mr. Ezekiel, what happens in the blog on August 6th, please?
Okay, August 6th, I usually feel great in the evening, but tonight I feel really tired.
So so what is happening now and what usually happens every day?
Okay, in this case, this person say that there is usually feel great in the evening, but at this moment, this person feels very tired. It's exhausted.
Exhausted. So today, well, every day,
The routine is feeling great. That's the,
yeah. So we're gonna circle that part because it says, no, underline. It says underline what happens every day, and underline and circle what is happening right now.
okay.
Now,
But
go
tonight,
ahead.
I feel is right now. It's not feeling because feeling is incorrect. Use ing with this kind of verb according with the rules.
Because it is a
Non-action, non-action verb.
correct. So we need to say no. We if it's a non-action verb, if it's non-action, then you cannot use it in the progressive. So now check this out. I think that feel right here. Feel
Mm-hmm.
feel is action and non-action. So
Okay.
so so this is tricky because technically, um, the first feel right here where it says I usually feel great, that's action. Usually, I mean, it's what happens every day. So he feels great every day. Usually in the evening, usually he feels great. But tonight, non-action, I feel really tired because tired is he's not doing anything, but he feels tired, tired. So here we have an you can say this happens every day, and this happens is happening right now, and in this case, this is one of the irregular verbs where you can use it for both action and non-action meanings. This is unique. This is different. So it's kind of a tricky statement, but
Okay.
we understand. Mr. Danny Martinez, what about August 25th?
Okay, August 25th. I am feeling very comfortable here now, but it's almost time to go home. My host parents usually cut a light dinner, but tonight is a very special event. They are they are having a party for me to say goodbye. I miss them already.
So what is happening right now, and what usually happens every day?
For example, he's saying that now, right now, he is feeling very comfortable. This is something that is happening right now. And the other thing that he says that is happening right now, that he says that they having a special party for me to say goodbye. I miss them already. They are saying that is something that is happening right now. The two things that he's saying that is happening right now, that he's feeling with himself very comfortable, and now he's having a kind of party. But
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, that is the most common, is that it is not common for him. The most common is that they don't have this kind of events every day, no?
Mm-hmm. Usually, what happens?
He usually cook a light dinner, no?
Mm-hmm. That's true. So right now he's feeling very comfortable, but it is time to go home. Right. That's in the simple present. It is time. My host parent usually cook, and this is parents plural, so they cook a light dinner, right? But and tonight is a special event, so basically they're gonna cook you know the difference between a light dinner and a regular dinner. What is a light dinner? What is a regular dinner?
For example, in my case, teacher, a light dinner is, for example, in my home, we usually at the dinner we ate fruit, for example, pineapple, jicama, melon, with some quesadillas. For example, for me, this is a light dinner. However, a special dinner is, for example, now in Fiestas Patrias, where we, for example, our dinner was pozole with tamales and with some cups of red wine. For example, for this is a perhaps an special dinner. A special dinner means that it's not the things that you usually take at dinner, no?
Right. Well, technically, when you say light, you're saying that you're gonna eat a little bit, something that's not, maybe a salad, maybe a soup, but nothing heavy, nothing heavy, nothing. Well, see, you see, something healthy maybe, but
Something healthy.
so you're not hungry, okay? You just wanna avoid being hungry, so you eat something good, something light, something that is not heavy. All of these examples right here. But when you have a full dinner, okay, full dinner, technically you got a lot to choose from. You've got a little bit of everything. Technically, a full dinner means you're going to have maybe the food, maybe the everything. You're going to have a salad, a soup, the meat, the dessert, maybe even a beer. That's a full dinner right there. So sometimes if you say, I would like a full dinner on Saturday, that means you want something like this. For example, me, I always celebrate Thanksgiving. So for Thanksgiving, it's a full dinner. We want everything. We want pie. We want we want vegetables. We want potatoes. We want macaroni. We want sauces. We want turkey, and we want ham.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, a little bit of everything on the table. That's a full dinner. Technically, you have a lot of leftovers. Okay, so I think in Mexico most people have a full dinner. There's not many light dinners in Mexico, in my opinion.
Mm, in my case, teacher, I prefer light dinners, and in opposite way, I take a very heavy breakfast.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's healthier. It's healthier. That technically, you're supposed to. The doctor says that you're supposed to have a light dinner. The doctor says it's better to have a light dinner, something like this, or something that is not too greasy.
Mhm.
That's what the doctor recommends, a light dinner. So here he's talking about that. Usually they cook a light dinner, but tonight is a special event. So tonight they're gonna have a party for me to say goodbye. I miss them already. So technically, that miss is extrañar. It's a non-action verb. It talks about a feeling. So that's gonna be in the simple present. Miss.
Miss, but teacher, I have a doubt. At the moment that he says, I miss them already, is something that is happening right now. He says that he is starting to miss them, but he's
Yes,
still there.
that is correct. So correction here. I'm going to circle it. I underlined it because I was thinking about the simple present, but it says circle what is happening right now. So even though it's in the simple present, we're going to circle it because it's happening right now. That is correct. And he says already. That means he has not left yet, but he misses them now anyways. That is correct. Very good. Very good. So let's see. Can you describe something? Let's see. We can start with Mr. Ezekiel. Mr. Ezekiel, can you describe something that you're doing right now, but include something that you usually do every day? For example, let me tell you. Let's assume that I do the same thing. I'm going to describe something, okay? I'm gonna say um, here. I'm gonna add a blank page here so that we can see so that I can write what I'm saying. The teacher, okay? So this is the teacher. Teacher.
The teacher.
Okay, I'm gonna say right now I'm connecting online with Daniel and Ezekiel. Okay, and we could say usually I have dinner at 8 p.m. But recently I changed. Well, I'm going to use a non-action verb. Let's see, what can I say? Well, I'm not going to use a non-action verb. I'm going to say recently I started an online class every day from Monday through Friday. And then I'm going to say,
But teacher, this is a lie. Because
well,
on Tuesday and Thursday, you have a class with me in the last weeks. The first sentence is a total lie.
which one? Which one?
That usually I have a dinner 8 p.m. It's not true, teacher. It's false.
Well, let me clarify, Mr. Ezekiel. Usually, I finish my present, but the classes where I go to the companies, the classes where, but ever since the coronavirus, I started online classes. So now I have online classes all evening through the night because I have a lot of classes. So ever since the coronavirus, the COVID-19, I have had classes from 5:30 p.m. to like 11 o'clock at midnight. So I end up eating snacks, but that was not the case in the past. But now I have a lot of online classes and everybody wants classes in the evening. So my dinner time is lost.
Okay, that's that is really convenient to your diet.
Yeah, that's good for my diet. I end up eating less for dinner.
I don't think so because I think that you are compensating these calories in another way.
With with another way? Who is another way?
For example, for example, no, yes, for example, I think that, for example, during the class, he's taking some snacks that at the end, how do you say, he put more calories for these snacks rather than he take a salad, for example.
It's worse.
It's worse.
Yeah, it's probably making things worse because I think I'm eating more snacks. For example, I'm drinking more coffee.
But you consume healthy snacks, not teacher?
No, they always bring me quesadillas,
Quesadillas.
quesadillas.
Quesadillas, chilangas quesadillas with no
Yeah,
cheese.
they bring me nachos. They bring me
Nachos.
burritos. Um, lots of flour tortilla tacos.
Mm.
Uh,
And, and he stay more time sit during the day.
exactly. Now, I used to get up and
But you can teach stand up, no teacher?
well, yeah, but I have a really nice chair. I like my chair; it's very comfortable. I bought a new orthopedic chair about 3 months ago. Yeah.
Teacher, if you remember at Costa Verde, my one of my prior jobs, my boss that I have in that time, that is Edgar Maldonado, he usually works stand up. He's really nervous and very unquiet, and all the time he's walking in his office and calling by telephone, teacher.
Really?
Yeah,
Well,
very nervous.
very nervous. It makes you nervous. Okay, well, see, that's me right there. I put right now. I'm connecting online with Daniel and Ezekiel. That's happening right this moment. But in the past, before my online classes, maybe I could put that on there so to clarify because Mr. Ezekiel says I am lying. Before my online classes began, okay, I had dinner at 8 p.m. Okay, so but recently, I started an online class every day, or I should say online classes in general, because it's different groups. It's not just online classes every day from Monday through Friday. Uh, as a matter of fact, let me tell you, on Tuesdays, and Thursdays,
Mm-hmm.
I have class. I have classes until 12 a.m. midnight.
Wow.
I have a class that begins at 10:30 p.m. and ends at midnight. Ends at midnight, and sometimes we start about 15 minutes late because she's not ready, and 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 I tell her no problem. We'll start at 10:45 and we finish at 12:15 midnight. And I have one student from Brazil who wants online classes from 1 a.m. to 3 p.m. and and that's tentative. It may begin next month. She's from Brazil and she wants classes from 1 a.m. I tell her maybe 12:30, from 12:30 a.m. to to 2 p.m. I mean 12:30 a.m. to 2 a.m. maybe. soon on Mondays and Tuesdays. So
Well,
I think the online classes is a big thing. Everybody wants online classes recently. I mean, it's a big explosion of online classes.
And I don't know if you know, Danny, but the teacher has another teachers.
yes, he told me that he has another teachers, and for the reason he commonly used two computers, because in one he's giving his classes and the other computer is supervising his teachers.
Yeah, well, if I'm not connected to my class, usually or every once in a while I connect to his classes because all the classes have a student that's called CETI admin, all the classes. And the CETI admin student is actually me that I use to monitor the other classes. And so they know that CETI admin can connect any moment and audit the class and or help with the class. Usually that's what the SETI admin does. The SETI admin account can be in every class, and actually every class is recorded. So even if I don't do the class, let's say I don't monitor the class, the teacher is recording the class, and SETI admin will have access to the video. So maybe I'm not looking at the class, but it's being recorded, and then I can look at the video of the class another day. So yes, that's always the case.
And Danny, the teacher drives another language different than the English, not only English, Spanish, Portuguese, and I don't know, teacher, what is another language that you drive?
Well, my other teacher speaks 5 languages. He speaks Spanish, English, Portuguese, French, and German.
Wow.
And he can teach all these languages, teacher?
Yes, he can teach all of them. He can teach all the languages. So, as a matter of fact, he's getting ready to enroll for 2021. He's going to enroll in a Mandarin class. He wants to learn. He's going to learn Mandarin also.
Wow.
¿Qué tal? Danny, do you remember that Mr. Lasso
Yes.
can speak 5 languages too?
Yes, Mr. Lasso, for example, I saw Mr. Lasso speak Spanish, speak English, speak Portuguese, speak in French, and in Netherlands, because
and I don't know what is the name of the language, teacher, that is speak in Netherlands. I think I think it's Dutch.
Dutch.
Dutch, yeah. Holandés. Yes, Netherlands. Yeah, teacher, but in English. Yeah, I don't know that in Spanish is Netherlands, but in English I think it's Dutch. Yeah.
The official language of the Netherlands is Dutch.
Dutch, yeah.
Spoken by all.
But teacher, for example, Javier Lasso, that is our regional manager, he tells us that when he joined to the company, he moved his resident from Dutch to Luxembourg, and Luxembourg is in the middle of Germany, is in the middle of French, and he in this moment think or feel himself that his French was not enough, and the recommendation of the VP of taxes was, if you want to improve your French, you need to have a mistress or a lover. I don't know what is the correct way to say it. It could help you to improve your French.
Really?
Really.
¿Pero qué era lo que necesitaba? ¿Una qué? ¿Una ama de casa?
Un amante.
Ah, okay, a lover.
A lover, mistress. I don't know. What is the correct teacher's word? Mistress or lover?
You would have to say you would have to have a mistress.
Mistress.
Have a mistress. Lover no, lover es, le estás poniendo más énfasis a lo sexual, pero este,
And what is the context of mistress? What is the difference?
well, a mistress is you have another relationship with somebody who is not your wife. If you're having another relationship.
But not necessarily a sexual relation.
In English, they say Sancha, ¿verdad? Or what they call it?
Sancho.
In Spanish, it's the same.
Amante in English.
Yeah, for that, Danny, a few minutes ago, say Sanchez is not a good last name.
Sale lover, pero lover no es tan es más popular decir mistress. Aquí está.
Mistress. He says mistress.
Mistress is more popular. Technically, if you have a mistress, no sé por qué tiene que poner fotos acá, ¿verdad?
This is very physical, teacher.
So mistress is actually more popular.
Didactic.
Yeah, it's more it's more well known.
So in this case, this kind of person can you teach another languages?
More than another languages.
So they're saying that you should get a mistress so that you can learn another language?
Yeah, that's the advice from our boss in that country. I don't know what kind of, maybe bad words or different words. I don't know.
Well, I'm not going to recommend it because I don't want you to end up in divorce and then I gotta have it in my conscience.
Okay.
And then you're gonna sue me when you get divorced. So
and maybe you got a demand
to the mats. But technically, I think that having a mistress is not related to learning another language. I don't think it's related. Because, I mean, when you go see the mistress, you don't go to talk. You don't practice. I don't think so.
Maybe you have a practice, but another kind of practice.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to be talking very much.
And I don't know. Maybe it's another way to use the tongue.
Yeah, you may use your tongue, but that's about it. So now that I describe what is happening right now and what happens in the regular every day, who wants to tell me their example?
I think the best way to I don't know, to acquire the skills of another language is to be involved 100%, 24/7 in that language. Maybe when you move your residence to another country, when this language is used.
I think if you're using it every day, definitely you're going to make it better. For example, maybe what I thought at one time, I thought I would create a universal practice chat for all my students, but I figured maybe it was good, but then maybe it's a little annoying to have 50 students putting crazy comments every day. And I'm not sure if that's going to help you because eventually you're not going to read it because there's too many comments, right? So in my opinion, it's best to keep it individual groups and then have focused conversations on your level. Focused, controlled practice instead of a bunch of random practice. But definitely practicing every day. For example, I mean, here we have Mr. Daniel from Lázaro Cárdenas, Michoacán. We got Mr. Ezekiel in Monterrey, in one section of Nuevo León, and you have the teacher on another section of Nuevo León, and you have got Joyce over there in Michoacán. Where's Joyce, in Michoacán?
No, en Monterrey.
Joyce is in Monterrey? Oh, really? I didn't know that. I thought she was
in Monterrey, but in this moment she is in Tepic, Nayarit.
Oh, she's in Nayarit right now. Wow.
Because she is visiting her parents.
Yeah, she told me she replied. I sent her a small message before class, and she told me that she apologized, and she said that she would connect no later than next Tuesday. She'll be ready. She'll be ready to join the class.
Yeah. Okay.
But so what I'm saying is, here we are. We have something as simple as the WhatsApp chat. I think we should always describe. For example, right now we're describing the present progressive and the simple present. It is very easy to put full sentences in the simple present and the present progressive every day, even if we don't have class, and we carry a conversation where we chat. Now, if you're busy at work and you don't want your chat making noise, maybe making noises, beeping, you can mute it, and you can check it when you get home. You don't have to reply immediately because there's a message. You can reply when you have time. So I think that's useful. We should carry that's why our chat says English Conversational Club, because we have an opportunity there to carry out a conversation with your classmates and the teacher all the time. Again, you're not obligated to talk 24 hours a day. You can talk whenever you have free time. You can wait till you're waiting at the doctor's office, or maybe when you're in the bathroom. Everybody does that. It sounds funny, but it is. But it doesn't matter but you can reply. And I think if you're thinking in English with the same topic that we're having in class, and you're recycling it and you're practicing it, then you will not forget your class topic. And we're going to add to your class topic as we progress through the course. So it'll be controlled and it'll be constructive. For example, right now, Mr. Ezekiel or Danny, tell me using the present progressive or the simple present, tell me something about what you're doing now and what you do regularly.
For example, teacher, I usually try to conclude my everyday work at no later than 8 p.m. because I usually take a dinner between 8 to 9, and if I have work to be concluded that I need to conclude it, I spend time from 9 p.m. to 10:30 or no later than 11.
Okay, so there you mentioned.
But right now I am taking classes with my teacher with Ezekiel.
Correct. I'm taking classes with. Very good. So there you mentioned what you're doing. You usually try to conclude your everyday work no later than 8.
Than 8 p.m. Yes, because for example, teacher, I feel that when I have a dinner later than 9 p.m., it's not enough time to. It doesn't help me to really rest.
Okay. So they don't help you rest?
Yes.
When you sleep?
Yes, when I sleep.
So you cannot rest on a full stomach.
For example, what I feel the difference is when I have a dinner between 7 to 9 p.m. It's common that I woke up by myself at 6 a.m., something like that. And in this moment, I feel myself with enough energy to go to run or go to walk. However, when I take my dinner after 9 p.m., the most probably is that I can walk up by myself during the morning, because obviously I perhaps the most probably is that my, how do you say, my body is continue to digest the dinner, no?
I see. Yeah, I think I agree. I think when I eat a late dinner, I have a problem. I have a tendency to wake up in the middle of the night. I don't sleep as well. If I eat early, no later than 8, then I go to sleep at 10:30, 11. Then I go to sleep and I don't wake up until the next morning.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Ezekiel, how about you?
Okay. I usually started.
I
No, I
usually
usually
start.
I usually start. I usually start my English classes at 7:30 to 9 p.m.
To 9.
9 p.m. But uh, since 2 weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
I um, I am taking classes from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Hmm. So it's usually start from 7:30 to 9. But since 2 weeks ago, starting 2 weeks, you could say starting 2 weeks ago, I am taking classes from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Very good. Excellent. So that's how we're using this. We're trying to control using both the simple present and the present progressive in a conversation, because people have a tendency that to misuse it. They misuse the they combine them incorrectly. I have a student, for example. I think Mr. Ezekiel knows a student, friend of his, that uses the present progressive all the time for everything, and technically that's incorrect.
Mr. That is Mr. ING.
Yeah, Mr. Ezekiel calls him Mr. ING. That's his nickname now, Mr. ING. Because everything is, teacher, I working today, I fixing, I starting a class,
But
I
it's
working tomorrow.
but it's not the worst part, because it's not, he is not pronounce the letter G. He said, I talking, I dancing, I louding.
That's true. That's true. Running. Uh, he says playing without the G,
Yeah.
and technically that's incorrect. And that's technically you're supposed to. It's got an ing sound.
English.
Running, playing. It's like a fraction of a second. You have an ing,
English.
running,
English.
playing. You don't say running, playing. It's not in. It's ing, playing, running,
Running,
working,
running and playing is very pocho, no, teacher?
running, and playing. Yes, they use that a lot. Um, eh, And well, especially the Chicanos. In the United States, you have Chicanos. You have regular Anglo Americans, and you have Afro Americans, and then you got Mexican Americans, and then you have Chicanos. Chicanos are funny because um, I think that's where the expression pocho comes from. You've heard of a pocho?
Yes, teacher, Pocho is someone that is his fathers are Mexican. However, he burned in United States, right?
That is correct. So, but I think pocho is also like a culture. Pocho is a person that doesn't really speak English, well, that doesn't speak Spanish, I'm sorry, and that he connects a lot of his English to the Spanish language. He
Spanglish,
speaks Spanglish person.
It,
Yes.
macaco.
it's like a portuñol. There is a mix that you are using one word by in English and another word in Spanish, and I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
For example,
Yeah.
por example, come para acá, ven para acá.
O no me puches. O
O
eh,
me voy a parquear.
me voy a parquear. Exactly, la troca. Voy a parquear la troca. Basically, voy a parquear la troca. They use a lot of those words, and I knew a lot of people that speak that way. And as a matter of fact, I probably used some of their words in the past, but I stopped doing it because I realized it sounds pocho, and I don't like to sound pocho in Mexico. So I corrected a lot of my expressions in the last 10 years. And when I go to Dallas, people tell me, they say they listen to me talk Spanish, and they tell me what they tell me. Oh, because I know a lot of people that know people from Nuevo León. I don't know why they credit it to Nuevo León. They say that people from Nuevo León speak a very different Spanish. And well, at least my friends in Dallas, they say that, right? So when I go over there, they're like, "Estás hablando Nuevo León, como hablan los de Nuevo León," and I'm like, "Well, it's regular Spanish." And they're like, "No, you're using some crazy Spanish words." They tell me it's some crazy Spanish words. Those are just crazy. I don't know what you're talking about. Well, one day somebody asked me about my classes, how they work, and I told them, um, well, well, his mother was there, and his mother doesn't speak good English, right? So I start explaining to the mother, and I tell the mother, señora, pues una cosa es hablar inglés y otra cosa es tener un sistema o una metodología para impartir clases. Y mi amigo me dice, whoa. What is that crazy Spanish stuff you just said? Because they don't use those words. I mean, impartición de clases, metodología, como aprendizaje constructivo, retroalimentación continua, those type of words, those are very technical Spanish words. And pochos do not use those words. Okay. So when I start explaining my teaching methodology in Spanish, they whoa, that's another language. And they love it when I explain it now. Now they like it. At first they would make fun of me, and I didn't want to talk Spanish. Believe it or not, I do not like to talk Spanish in the United States to my Chicano friends because they make fun of me. Isn't that weird? And so I think I understand them when they come to Mexico because I had a similar problem when I came to Mexico. I used the wrong language. And my wife used to tell me, do not answer a client email without letting me check it first. My wife used to tell me all the time. Now I answer my own emails, okay? Just to let you know. I answer my emails now. I speak Spanish much better. But I think it's because, again, it's the same problem for you right now. I mean, you speak basic English and you're wanting to elevate to an academic English level. You must practice speaking over complicated, irregular topics, and you must use advanced vocabulary so that you can better your habit of using the correct words. And I had to do the same thing in Spanish from 2008 to about 2015. I was learning. And so it's just a matter of identifying the proper wording. It's just a matter of identifying and using it at the right moment. And you're not going to do that unless you practice, basically. So let's practice before we run out of time, conjugating here in an article. Let's say one person is Taro and another person is Marissa. Who wants to be, okay, who wants to start first? Who wants to be Marissa?
Okay. I have no problem. I'm very sure about my my masculinity.
That is funny. Okay. Let's let Mr. Ezekiel is very sure about his masculinity. He has no problem with carrying the Marissa conversation. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Taro says, there's Miguel. He's talking to Luisa.
Okay. Taro, there's Miguel. He's talking to Luisa. Okay, Marisa. Yes, they are talking a class together this semester.
Right. They're taking a class together.
Taking.
Taro, go ahead. Taro,
okay,
Danny
Mr.
Taro.
Okay, Taro. They are standing very close to each other. Are you thinking they are dating?
No, do you think?
No, do you think?
¿Qué?
Do you think? Because you use the simple present. Do you think? Are you thinking is progressive, but it's a non-action verb.
Okay.
So we're going to say in the simple present. Do you think they are dating? Okay. What do you say, Mr. Ezekiel?
A ver.
Do you think they're dating?
Necesito ver el lenguaje, el de body language. Okay. No, I don't think so.
Okay.
It is meaning with apostrophe. It is meaning. ¿Qué?
It isn't.
No, no está en negativo, nomás es means or it is mean. Okay, it means. Okay, it means. Se lo voy a valer, teacher. It means anything special. I'm coming from Costa Rica. People usually, ¿qué? I'm coming, dije.
No me está diciendo de dónde es. No está en un avión y actualmente.
Okay. I come, o sea, yo soy, ya. O yo vengo, okay. I come from Costa Rica. And people usually are standing.
Usually.
Standing, ya.
Stand.
Porque pone usually, usually ya está, teacher. For you, because the usually is above. usually stand that close to each other there all the time.
Correct. If it's a usually, that means it repeats itself. That means it always happens. So it's going to be in the simple present. We're going to say and people usually stand that close to each other. So in Costa Rica, it's common for people to stand close to each other, is what he's explaining. It does not mean they're dating. It does not mean they're dating. So they're standing very close to each other. Do you think they're dating?
Doesn't mean nothing in Costa Rica. But in the US, it's totally the opposite.
Yes, in the U.S., it is the opposite. People stand far. So if you see somebody standing too close, it's an obvious that they're dating.
Yeah.
Obvious mistress. Obvious mistress.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible.
But in these times, it's difficult to know. Maybe
Yes.
men and men, women and women. I don't know, teacher.
It's a complicated topic. Very complicated topic.
Yeah.
All right. Let's continue then. Who wants to be Liwu and Paulo?
Okay.
I can be Ligu.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi,
Okay,
Paulo.
Mr. Daniel.
What are you doing?
Correct.
Okay. Oh, I am waiting for class to begin.
Excellent.
Okay. What's the matter? You are seeming a little down. Okay. What's the matter? You seems a little down.
¿Por qué seems? No vale ese.
Sí, porque seem es pareces estar, es
Así
la
es.
apariencia nada más. Seem tiene que ver con apariencia. Entonces, non-action verb.
Okay, non-action verb is correct.
Oh, I'm just tired. I am working evenings this semester. Hey, is that your teacher over there?
Yes. She talks to a classmate, no?
Every day or right now?
No, okay.
Right now,
okay. Right now. She's talking to a classmate.
Right, because this is an action verb, so it can be present or simple present. It's just a matter of now or every day.
Every day. No, it's not every day. It's at the moment, no? That it is happening.
It's at the moment, right? So you see the picture. It's happening right now. So yes. Present progressive. Correct.
What's wrong? She doesn't look at her. He seems uncomfortable. Oh, qué la madre. A ver. He is not looking at her. He seems.
He's not looking at her.
At her. He seems uncomfortable.
Very good. Ese es el look que funciona para action o non-action. Pero en la foto, en este momento, it's not, no la está viendo a ella, como que no la está viendo, o sea, no la quiere ver a la cara, está viendo hacia abajo, no la quiere ver a ella. So, in this case, it is action.
Okay.
In this case. Liwu?
Okay. Oh, that is not meaning anything. In some countries, it's not respectful to look directly at your teacher. Okay. Oh, that doesn't mean anything. In some countries, because it's not something that happened right now. It's a, how do you say? no tiene tiempo, ¿no?
Well, it
It's a
doesn't mean
culture.
that doesn't mean es significar.
Significar,
Entonces,
así
Como que
es.
dice, eso no, como que dice, eso no significa nada.
It's
no
correct.
significa nada. Es non-action. It's non-action verb.
For example, teacher, I remember when I was in the preparatory school. In the preparatory school, in the school,
High school.
in the high school, they tell us, please speak to the teacher by his name or her name, because it helps us to break the ice and help us to learn better. However, for example, I remember when I joined to the university, some teacher says, please told me directly by my name, and some of my colleagues says, no, it's very rude, and they can't do that. And it is depends on how you was educated previously, no?
Ah, okay. I didn't know that. Give me one moment. I stopped accidentally sharing
Your screen.
my screen. I hit the wrong button. Let's see. Da-da-da-da, blah 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 blah. Here it is. I found it. Can you hear sound?
Yes.
Because look, I got I got something. I got an audio that I used to put to my other students in another class. Can you hear this? Let's see. Tell me if you can hear this. Did you hear it?
Yes, I can hear it.
That's when they say the wrong answer.
Okay.
If they say the wrong answer, I found that on a website, and then if they say the right answer, let's see. If they say the right answer, applause.
Applause.
Yeah, or if there's kids cheering, I can put kids cheering also. y si no se sabe si la respuesta está correcta o no, pongo este.
Blau, 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 blau. Okay. Mystery.
That's a mystery, correct. But I didn't want to put it just yet. Okay. I saved that for later. So again, any questions about how to use the present progressive or the simple present? As you can notice, it is a little tricky. We have to pay close attention to the rules. Is it happening right? Ask yourself, first of all, is it happening right now? Okay, if it is happening right now, number two, it's an action verb. If it's an action verb, then yes, you put it in the present progressive. He is working, he's talking. But if it's a non-action verb, you continue to put it in the simple present. I have, I feel, I like, he seems, you seem a little down. So it may be happening right now, but seem is a non-action verb, and it must be included in the simple present. Same for this. The questionable is stuff like this. Look can be simple present or can be present progressive. You must ask yourself, is it happening right now? Okay, if it's happening right now, he's not looking. Oh, he is looking. Okay, now what we could do, okay, so that we don't forget and so that we practice, let's do something similar. For example, you have a schedule, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, every day, if you can. Now, we don't have to do this every day, but do it at least once, or do it at least once, maybe tomorrow. Put your schedule for the students. Put today, I have class at 7. I will take a lunch at 1. I play tennis at 5. I will watch Netflix with my family at 9. Something like that, right? And during the day, we will
Oh,
ask a question.
teacher, you are in overtime.
Yes. That's why I'm giving you the homework.
Okay.
This is
Okay.
this is the online conversational homework. Okay?
Okay.
I'm going to send you a copy of this, and you're going to tell us what you will do or what you usually do, right, during the day. And then during the day, we're going to be asking each other questions. Mr. Ezekiel, are you eating lunch? Because he's going to send me the schedule. So if you send me the schedule, Mr. Ezekiel, I'm going to ask you at 1 o'clock. I'm going to say, what are you eating for lunch, Mr. Ezekiel? And then you can say, I am eating pizza. You see?
Okay.
And then we have we can have a conversation. I'm going to send you my schedule for tomorrow. And you, Mr. Ezekiel, you send me your schedule. And Daniel, send me your schedule. And hopefully Joyce will send us her schedule if she can. If not, we'll do it again on Monday. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
And then we will discuss if you used the progressive or the present, simple present correctly on Tuesday. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you, gentlemen. I recorded the class from the moment Mr. Ezekiel joined us, so I'm going to go ahead and share it with Joyce so that she can see it, and that way, hopefully, she can participate. Okie dokie.
Okay.
All right, I am stopping the recording now. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend, and we will be chatting via WhatsApp tomorrow. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you on Tuesday.
Okay.
Okay, teacher.
Okay,
See you.
teacher. See you.
Goodbye.
Bye.